A new industrial revolution is taking place around the world. Once intractable problems are being solved in new ways. Big data technology is boosting the quality and efficiency of traditional industries, helping them to transform and upgrade. In everything from design and production to operation and management, big data is redefining the future of industry. Human society cannot function normally for even one day without energy. But where does this energy come from? This is something most people have never seen before. The land shakes slightly as tens of thousands of seismic waves travel underground and are sent back. This earthquake was not caused by nature, but by a piece of equipment called a seismic vibrator. A device similar to a heavy hammer reaches out from beneath the vehicle and pounds the ground, producing seismic waves. This level of vibration is safe and controllable and can only be detected by the sophisticated instruments on the vehicle. Anyone standing at the site would barely feel it. But for oil exploration teams, these vibrations contain the codes to where precious energy supplies are stored.
让这个地震波啊，在这个不同的地下界面上啊进行传播，它的传播速度是不一样的，它返回来的速度也是不一样的。通过我们排列的接收，完了之后传到仪器上，经过后期的计算机的处理，来调查地下的地质构造。
The Taklamakan Desert is known as the Sea of Death. It lies in the center of the Tarim Basin in southern Xinjiang. The basin is ringed by high mountains, such as the Tian Shan and Kunlun Mountains. The gravel of the Gobi separates the mountains from the desert. Despite its barren appearance, this region is home to some of the largest oil and gas reserves in China. There are an estimated 17.8 billion tons of reserves here, dozens of times China's total annual consumption. But complex geographical movements over hundreds of millions of years have split these resources into scattered capsules, making it one of the most difficult areas in the world to exploit.
有时候距离很大，比较分散，甚至几百公里，可能你找不到这个比较好的目标。你有可能把这一套跟这的比对起来了，它的标志物基本上找不到。
Previously, geologists could only use two-dimensional seismic waves to determine the location of underground oil and gas deposits, with an accuracy rate of just 20%. But today's new technology makes it possible to find oil fields much more accurately. The data collected only through seismic vibrators falls far short of what is needed. Peng Gongxin hopes to collect more data from special locations underground.
今天我们大家的任务主要是整排列，希望大家在工作之中，一个是质量，一个是安全。
This elite group of oil explorers are the Flying Tigers. They specialize in prospecting in extreme terrain. This stretch of jagged, sheer gravel hills is their battlefield. Collecting data in this area requires a specific set of equipment and demands a large workforce. Yue Hong heads a team of nearly 2,000 flying tigers. Their job today is to scour 300 square kilometers of treacherous terrain. This is the 457th day they have been collecting data in the Tarim Basin. The team members have to trek more than 10 kilometers every day and climb ridges with slopes of more than 60 degrees, carrying several kilograms of heavy equipment.
整个塔里木盆地是一个锅的形式。这个地表上面虽然说是山，可是呢，地底下是一个锅的盆地。
The data they need to collect lies deep under a rock layer that is 6,000 to 8,000 meters thick. To accomplish the task, the team has to carry the drilling rigs, each weighing over 100 kilograms, to the top of the mountain. The team will first drill tens of thousands of holes in the ground, each 20 to 50 meters deep and 15 centimeters in diameter. They will then place a 16-kilogram cylinder of ammonium nitrate explosives in each hole.
它这个药量和井深都是经过前期实验来定下来的。
Next, the team members will connect all the orange cables and place them on each explosive point. Every 20 meters, there is a sensor which serves as a stethoscope for the Earth. In effect, the flying tigers will use these cables and sensors to take the Tarim Basin's pulse. Everything is now in place. 100 tons of explosives are about to blow up at the same time.
1号5614 5657
5614 5657充电。
集结。
Perhaps not the spectacular sight you may have imagined. But while everything seems peaceful above ground, the explosion created a huge impact that pushes down through the mountain to a depth of 8 kilometers.
现在的大数据相当于给地球做这个彩超，它能够让你清晰的看到地下的地质结构，这样的话就勘探开发成功率比较高。
This explosion created about 125,000 seismic waves. Through the orange cables, data hidden deep under the ground is now quickly collated at the central control unit.
11号多少？11763。
它的波在里边传的时候，它是低频的，高频它都被吸收了。
This underground capsule-like structure is called an entrapment and contains oil and gas. This is exactly what Peng Gongxin is looking for. Once they find the precise location, they can extract oil and gas from it. Using seismic waves to learn the features and structure of underground strata is a traditional method of exploration. While the working principle remains the same, the data processing capacity has improved. Previously, calculating and analyzing such large volumes of data would have been extremely difficult. But with enhanced computing, storage and data analysis capabilities, exploration is becoming increasingly accurate. The explosions are repeated every 60 meters. Yue Hong's team must carry out more than 25,000 explosions in this area in order to collect enough data. With this massive amount of data and advanced calculating abilities, the cloud computing data center can provide much clearer images of where the oil and gas is stored. At present, this method, based on big data technology, brings a 70% success rate for oil and gas exploration in the Tarim Basin.
那么我们找到油气以后，需要把它高效的开发出来。开发出来以后，我们要把它快速的把它运输，而且要进行加工和处理。所以在整个油气的产业链里边，实际上我们也需要使用或者说利用大数据的这个技术。
In 2018, China consumed 610 million tons of oil and 237 billion cubic meters of natural gas. Imports accounted for more than 69% and 45% respectively, ranking second in the world. It's a serious situation and means guaranteeing oil and gas supplies is crucial. The Beijing Oil and Gas Pipeline Control Center of PetroChina is the country's central agency for oil and gas distribution. It receives 1,100 terabytes of oil and gas production data every day. Here you can see the monitoring data for every valve and device in the pipeline, all of which can be controlled remotely at any time. Every detail concerning oil and gas exploration, exploitation, refining, and pipeline transportation can be seen here.
通过大数据摸清用户规律，摸清这个气源生产规律，摸清这个我们沿线的这个战场和设备运行的一个规律。通过这些规律，我们在它这个效率最高的时候采用大数量输气，效率低的时候呢，我们采用就是另外的方式统一这个调配，来实现管网运行的最优化。
Today, the application of big data is integrated into every link in the energy supply chain, from oil and gas exploration to refining and transmission. Improved data accuracy means industry can now better serve more and more households.
大数据之类新技术，国外也没有太成熟的经验，大家都在摸索发展之中。那我们有更多应用场景、应用机会，更多的人投入，所以不要因为过去我们传统产业的落后。认为这个差距比较难弥补。经济这个新的科技革命这一轮，我相信我们抓住这个机遇化，在大数据这里应用，中国完全可能在世界上和发达国家同台竞技。
When cars first appeared 100 years ago, they gave us a new means of exploring the world. Today, people have very new ideas about what cars can do. It's the sultriest time of the year in Changsha, Hunan Province. The new car is going through a performance check at this test track.
请监控偏摆幅度、制动力分配情况、车身稳定性。
But this is no normal car test. This one involves big data.
请监控悬挂状况、扭力状况、偏摆幅度、声音异响参数。
Competition in the global automobile market is fierce. In order to survive, Chinese auto companies have to know exactly what customers want.
我们现在进入了移动互联网的时代，用户他不仅仅希望这辆车是一个代步工具，他会觉得我很多的工作，很多的这个生活，甚至包括我出行、我的娱乐，我的社交、社会交往。 都希望在这辆车上面实现。那么在这样一种情况下面，车联网、大数据，它提供了这样一种可能。
Duang Yuyin is a data engineer. He is about to embark on a brand new experience. He will be designing an automobile.
所以数据是每天都要1亿多条数据，而且每天就是需要。
In the past, designers would design a vehicle based on their own experience and aesthetic sense, which wasn't always well received by consumers. Sometimes opening the door led to a feeling that something was lacking. As Wang Yuyin begins his design work, he doesn't spread out a drawing sheet, nor does he refer to other design schemes. Instead, he creates a portrait of the target customer group based on online comments about different types of cars.
互联网上的一些信息呢，我们可以去帮他去做一些这种抓取，然后去帮他分析当前市场上的一些整体的一些情况。比如说，我们现在整体上的一个趋势就是这种中控面板的一个大屏的一个趋势。那现在其实说，如果没有一个大屏的话呢，可能给人的感觉就会有点像落伍的感觉一样。
After referring to the web data analysis, the design of the test car's exterior and interior begin to take shape. Much more complicated work is to follow. China's territory is vast. Different regions have different terrains, road conditions, and climates, which bring many uncertainties to a new car. On top of that, people have different driving habits.
前面比例实路，请监控车辆偏摆幅度、声音异响、车辆制动力参数情况。
同一台车可能是20岁这个阶段的用户，他认为，因为他们比较年轻，他们认为这个比较软。但是对于30岁左右的人，他认为这个正好合适。他对于安全性和这个操控的平稳性的要求会更高。
Much more data is needed to help adjust the cars. But where does that data come from? Through car networking technology, these soon-to-be-launched new cars will continuously send back information, including geographical locations, road conditions, and driving habits, after being delivered to their owners. The data will allow Wang Yuyin to fine-tune the cars that are produced later and also provide better service to their owners. In the future, vehicles will be tailored to suit their drivers' needs.
对于生产制造型的企业，现在可以根据大数据的分析来了解客户喜欢你什么，不喜欢什么东西，他对你下一代产品的这个期望和需求是什么啊？这个使得产品开发具有质的。大数据的应用啊，对于我们这个各行各业啊，尤其是制造业的意义的话呢，是非常重大的。
There are 1,500 blast furnaces around the world. 2/3 of them are in China, producing over 315 terabytes of data a year. This iron and steel plant in northwest China has produced steel for the Three Gorges Dam, the Qinghai-Tibet Railway, as well as the Bird's Nest Stadium in Beijing. But today, frequent equipment failure and excessive production costs have made its future uncertain.
当时非常危险，一方面是市场低迷，我们企业处于巨亏的状况；另外一个，我们高炉生产也不稳定啊，高炉的事故很多，高炉生产处于一个不可控的状态，生产的越多，亏的越多。
There was only one way out of this serious crisis: a radical technological revolution. Zhao Hongbo is an expert on industrial big data. His mission is to put the blast furnace through a technical transformation.
你可来了，哎，刚到，到了，生化改造刚啊。
那么这个现在就是我们这个白铁口的温度
白铁口啊，
它主要的碳转温度啊，已经达到了700度。700度。
其实不止九缸愿网破切，其实整个中国炼铁在这个数字化 网络化、智能化这个提升方面的都非常迫切，因为这个问题也是一个共性的问题。
A blast furnace is a giant airtight black box that continuously produces metals through high levels of temperature and pressure. No one can directly observe the production process that takes place inside the furnace. Liu Jinming is the manager of the blast furnace.
炉长呢，实际上就是高炉的医生，他就是给高炉看病的。这个总结下来的东西的话，你可能把脉把得准，处方呢你就说开的比较恰当，治病的速度呢就比较快。
Judging the conditions in a blast furnace is the hardest part. There are more than 20,000 workers in this plant, but only a few people have this ability. By observing the combustion state in the blast furnace with his naked eye, Leo can tell the temperature inside to within 0.5% margin of error.
这你看纹已经比刚才的规整多了嘛，油泡肯定下来了。你看这面的这个规还是。
Liu Jinming is very familiar with the internal workings of this billion yuan blast furnace. Furnace number 7 is the largest in the plant. It has had 178 accidents and malfunctions since it first went into use in 2011. Even for an old hand like Leo, these problems are impossible to overcome.
以前靠人的这个口头的总结，或者是靠人的定性的去归纳呢，很难把这个对高炉的认识和知识传承下去。所以说，这个也是必须是到了一个瓶颈阶段，必须用大数据、新一代人工智能技术来解决高炉的这个技术的突破和传承的问题。
Zhao Hongbo is out to transform furnace number 7.
哎，刘师傅您好，您好。哎，刘师傅您在这儿工作多久了？
已经工作31年。
31年，哎呦，那。
Liu Jinming is a little surprised at Zhao Hongbo's visit.
我们呢，这里下的数据，尽管我们认为已经很多了，现在跟现在比起来，那差到哪去了？
现在基础数据已经具备条件了，怎么是把数据分析好？
The blast furnace has been shut down for several months now, and the temperature inside has dropped from 2,000 degrees Celsius to roughly 30 degrees. The 100-meter-tall furnace body is filled with pipes and wires, creating countless hidden dangers for anyone attempting to renovate it. To understand the precise status of the furnace, a physical examination must be carried out.
刘师傅，这是咱们录音默契打水用的管子是吧？
对，打水给水。
The condition in the blast furnace cannot be fully understood just through an external examination. Zhao Hongbo makes the bold decision to enter the furnace.
一进去的话，就跟那个挖煤工的一样，整个都是黑乎乎的。又有一块渣皮从上面脱落，直接把我旁边的一个人给砸倒了。 所以说这个危险性还是很高的。
整体的这个炉子还
漆柱还可以啊，
漆柱质量还可以，但是也有一些抓晃的。
对对对，看那边还有一些这个裂纹啊。
好，这个裂裂。
After investigating it in person, Zhao Hongbo has a clear picture of the furnace's condition. Now he must make plans to renovate it.
还是可以，对对。
A simulation experiment is taking place at this laboratory in Beijing. This model is 2,800 times smaller than the actual number 7 furnace. Digitalization of the furnace will require knowledge from experienced workers and also some high-tech help. Sensors are the main component used for collecting data. This heat-resistant probe will monitor the furnace's working status by obtaining temperature data from the wall. The next step for Zhao Hongbo is to use the mini furnace to calculate the number of sensors needed and where to put them.
先把这个位置的装上，分8个方向要把它装全，这样的话咱们整个监测，到时候计算这个水温差热流强度、反应炉缸安全状态的时候，才能够比较有依据。
After making careful calculations, Zhao Hongbo plans to install 2,000 sensors in various positions outside the furnace number 7. These sensors will collect over 600 terabytes of data every day, monitoring crucial furnace operation parameters, such as water temperature and pressure. Choosing the right locations for the 2,000 sensors is critical. Inaccurate installation could lead to incorrect data. A misjudgment of the furnace's internal changes could result in the blast furnace burning down. If that happens, anything within a radius of 50 meters would be obliterated. The sensors have all been installed. The test is about to begin.
小弟，节水温度多少？
节水温度1502。
我们收到了。
The 2,000 sensors outside the blast furnace monitor the furnace in real time. They can predict the changes that will take place inside the furnace 2 hours in advance. Procedures that used to rely on human judgment of factors, such as furnace temperature and fuel consumption, are now all under the control of big data. This makes the mixture ratio more accurate, saving on fuel and also reducing emission of pollutants.
对，就装在那个位置，我们要均匀的分布这样整个对圆周的监测。
After working together for a few days, Zhao Hongbo and his team now have Liu Jingming's full trust. Today, Liu gives Zhao a valuable gift, a work diary of all the knowledge and experience he has accumulated over the last few decades. Liu has gone from being an observer of the big data revolution to a key figure in the digitalization of the blast furnace.
其实他们的每一个人都有自己的绝活，或者是自己在某一方面的这个强项。那我们通过跟他们的交流呢，也都会把它尽量的把他的知识沉淀下来，然后去提炼到我们的模型和算法的这个升级中。
Next, the engineers will use the information provided by experienced workers and the data from the sensors to revise the digital models in order to increase the platform's accuracy. The work of digitalization is completed. In the future, the furnace manager will be able to control the blast furnace from a computer. Big data technology has given the blast furnace a new life, and the plant begins to turn a profit once again.
冶炼每吨铁水消耗的燃料比降低了接近30公斤每吨铁，那这个效益是非常巨大的。折换到成本的降低，就是直接一座高炉1年降低了成本2400万。
通过大数据的建设呢，使我们高炉真正达到高材低耗、绿色环保节能，能够达到这些层面。
China is going through a big data revolution that is having a massive impact on the national economy and people's livelihoods. Using big data to transform blast furnaces can also bring immeasurable benefits to China's iron and steel industry.
中国工业大数据的体量大和数据类型丰富，大数据技术这个角度来讲，中国和发达国家是在同一起跑线上。所以，为什么通过大数据的技术，中国工业呢？如果说能实现变道超车的话，这是中国工业这个领域里面临最好的一次机会。
The process of industrialization has seen China go from bystander to follower and from follower to pioneer. Big data has brought new life to traditional industries and old enterprises, as well as sweeping changes. Most of our everyday needs, from communication and navigation to weather forecasts, depend on satellites. For the foreseeable future, various types of satellites will be lining up to enter space. This means commercial rocket companies must be able to shorten the launch period, raise launching speeds, and provide a wide range of customized services. In the past, it took 5 engineers 7 days to build a model and make the required calculations to test an engine. This big data platform will allow them to conduct a test with just one click. Wuhan, Hubei Province. The new engine for the Kuaizhou 11 rocket is being tested for the 3rd time. Chen Wenjie is the senior designer of Kuaizhou 11's engine. Today, he and his team are going to examine the engine after the test. In an engine, fuel is burnt to create a high temperature and pressure, thrusting the rocket upwards. This means that the engine must endure extreme conditions. In the initial stage of design, Chen Wenjie's team conducted several simulation experiments on the test parameters.
一台发动机好几百万，相当于是北京一套房子，这样一点就没了。这个东西我们还是得把数据，这个数据还是很宝贵、很金贵的。
Data is crucial in simulation experiments. If the big data platform can provide enough accurate data, there will be no need to carry out repeated tests of the new engine. A great deal of money and man-hours will be saved. This is the engine after the test. The outside still appears solid, despite being subjected to such high temperatures. But the inside has gone through tremendous changes.
数据获取，一方面数据很金贵，另一方面获取起来其实也是一个很难的一个过程。这里面承受了3000多度的高温，它只有10几个毫米厚。这个里面进去环境还是很恶劣的。说实话啊，气味很浓很冲，我们戴着那个口罩进去都有点受不了。
During the rocket's operation, the thermal insulation material plays the role of a heat shield, protecting the engine from the high temperature and pressure. One of the most important pieces of data that can be gleaned from the experiments is the amount of thermal insulation material remaining. Too much will increase the burden on the rocket. Too little will increase the risk of burn-through.
记录一下20。
Gathering this data will make future rocket engine designs more accurate. Global competition is fierce in the commercial rocket sector. In the US, SpaceX once launched 2 rockets in just 48 hours, setting the world record for the fastest launch. In China, more and more enterprises are entering this industry. Kuaizhou, China's top commercial rocket, is facing great pressure from home and abroad. Kuaizhou can only break new ground by speeding up research and development, but this requires a more advanced production mode.
大家看一下，这就是我们通过平台仿真出来的最终的一个效果。这个还是完整的模拟了我们整个商业航天这个型号的一个过程。
By aggregating the experience of engineers and historical data, the big data platform has helped replace real experiments with simulated ones. This saves a great deal of time and costs in developing the engine. But engines are large, complicated, and require high volumes of data, resulting in a high level of uncertainty that could easily lead to a launch failure. The platform has to accumulate as much data as possible to ensure accuracy and safety. In the 3 years since the platform was established in 2016, the volume of data has been constantly increasing. Platform functions have been optimized, leading to faster and more intelligent engine design. All engineers dream of exchanging infinite iterations of data for one success in the physical world. If the data platform can be used to develop rockets that can be directly put into use without any experiments using real materials, this would drastically reduce costs and human labor. It would open the door to a brand new world.
因为重工业他们的一个试验成本，包括他们的制造成本都是很高的，所以说基于这个平台呢，其实可以变相减少他们的那个在设计方案过程中，包括设计研发过程中走了一些弯路，这样的话可以变相的去节省他们的一些整个生产制造全生命周期制造过程中的一些成本。
In this very same city, 1,000 years ago, Chinese people stood on the Yellow Crane Tower and imagined what it would be like to fly. Human curiosity about the universe combined with the accumulation of big data has made that wish a reality. As data continues to accumulate, it becomes easier to explore the invisible world and solve unseen problems before they happen.
咱们国家还是一个制造大国，今天谈这个工业大数据一定是要以信息化作为基础的，同时呢，还要再考虑现在基于大数据的智能化。比如说这个工程我们有好多的这个建设的工地，对吧？我们的这个推土机、挖掘机、泵车真的在那工作，大家通过这种物联网的技术能够把这些信息都能连起来，对吧？形成一个新的这种服务的市场和经济。
喂，阿姐坏了，帮我处理一下好吧，我这里马上要施工，马上要来是吧？好。
Project Director Zhong Tian is under a tight working deadline. But he has just received a call from the pump truck's post-sales service, asking his team to stop working and check on the vehicle. After examination, they find that the truck's hydraulic system is leaking oil due to running at full capacity for long periods. If it isn't fixed in time, it will slow down the working pace and could even cause an accident. How did the post-sales service staff know about the problem before the team did? The answer lies in this little black box.
咱们黑匣子主要是负责采集底盘上的数据，包括我们液压系统、电气系统等等这些数据。那么平均我们车上装有20多种传感器，那么平均大概有500多个维度的数据来进行采集。
A set of sensors is installed on every important part of the pump truck. The sensors send the data they collect to the black box. The boom in China's infrastructure construction means that heavy engineering equipment in the country is usually operating at full capacity. That makes it even more important to pay attention to equipment safety. Engineers have already tested the strength and service life of each key component. Wherever the equipment is located, once it starts operating, sensors will send information back to the control center in real time through the black box. If the working intensity is too high, the service life ends, or there is abnormal data, the control center will sound the alarm. With hundreds of thousands of facilities constantly sending back data, the alarm system becomes more and more accurate.
我们中国工程机械的总量最高的时候达到了世界的50%，所以呢，这个为推动这个工业互联网，应该说创造了很好的这个条件。因为互联网啊，它的连接数量越多，它的成本越低，它价值越高。
The huge amount of equipment data allows an industrial internet platform to come into being, connecting more types of devices and exploiting more of its potential. In this digital era, Chinese industrial enterprises have constantly upgraded their abilities in everything from equipment manufacturing and intelligent operation to extracting the value of data.
连上网有数字化以后呢，就可以大量的用到这个互联网的能力了。那这个时候大数据就可以开始进入到这个制造企业。有了这些能力以后呢，就企业的所有的经营决策，就一个是它设备本身的智能化程度，这个制造过程的这个智能化程度，它的服务的过程的这个智能化程度，包括所有的方方面面都会有一个很大的一个提升。
There is no doubt that big data will have a far-reaching and even revolutionary effect on traditional industries. Big data is like an unstoppable express train, taking traditional enterprises into a new world of smart manufacturing.
我觉得用大数据最大的亮点就是说，提高了服务水准。你像现在我们每个消费者用到格力空调，我们在总部可以监控到我们的产品的安装质量运行状态，根本不需要消费者这些担心我空调坏了怎么办这个已经是基本上用这个我们现在现代化的这种大数据已经可以解决这个问题。
In this new era, software defines everything, and data drives development. In a rapid production environment, the smart connection of all devices and products are pooled on the industrial internet platform. More products and facilities are given the ability to be self-aware, propelling the digital transformation of traditional Chinese industrial enterprises. But while this may bring greater efficiency and convenience, the rapid development of this new industrial internet platform also brings some hidden risks.
伊朗官方26号证实，一种名为阵网的电脑蠕虫病毒近日大范围攻击伊朗工业企业、电子政治系统。
This is just one of the many industrial information security incidents that have occurred globally in recent years. Nearly 300 incidents like this take place around the world each year, and its main target is the industrial sector. Industrial internet security is now an essential part of everyone's lives.
很多人把这个网络空间作为这个陆海空太空之外的一个第五空间，那么它的这个安全问题肯定是影响到我们这个生活的这个方方面面。
According to monitoring data from the China Industrial Control Systems Cyber Emergency Response Team, many of China's industrial control systems are exposed to the internet, leading to potential dangers. But these security problems can be solved by big data.
我们就是通过我们的这个工控安全在线监测平台，来对这些存在安全风险的这个工业控制系统监测发现它们到底存在什么样的安全风险，这些安全风险会对我们的运营单位造成什么样的安全影响，及时的对这家企业进行风险提示，指导它做好安全防护。
The aggregation of industrial big data is the foundation and core of the industrial internet, and the safety of this data is its premise. In order to build a safety net for industrial information, enterprises must raise their security awareness. But this responsibility also falls on the data platform that controls this vast amount of information.
工业信息安全和工业的向前的这个发展，那么它也是这种两个，就是说，属于一体之两翼。它的安全能够保障它的发展，而它的发展呢，又促进了它的安全。通过监测他们这些平台提取有关的这个安全方面的一些数据，发现它不安全了，会采取相应的这方面的这个措施，来确保我们的这个工业互联网向这个安全方面这个平稳发展。
The integration of industrialization and informatization leads to smart manufacturing, allowing us to explore deep into the earth and out in the vast universe. Big data drives the development of traditional industry and its transformation. We are living in the middle of a new industrial revolution. The first industrial revolution saw the invention of the steam engine. The second was marked by the invention of electricity. This new revolution is based on big data, the Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence. It will surpass any previous era in the way it impacts human civilization and socio-economic development. It's opening up a new road to industrial transformation, and China is going forward at full speed.